Hey guys, it's Gerry reporting for Kids First, and today we're reviewing the film Spider-Man Homecoming. Not only is this an action-packed film with fantastic acting, it also has a phenomenal soundtrack that fits perfect with the story. Speaking of story, the story doesn't actually start when Spider-Man gets his powers. It starts quite a bit after that, after Spider-Man has already become Spider-Man, and also met the Avengers, most specifically Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr. Now, when the film starts, it's kind of interesting. It actually starts right after the events of Captain America Civil War. Specifically for Spider-Man, he helped fight in one of the fighting scenes in that film. I'm not going to spoil the plot. If you would like to check out that film, I definitely recommend it. But for this story, how it relates, when he gets back home after doing that fight, he is now officially a superhero with high-tech suits and superpowers and everything, and he wants to fight crime and make New York City, where he lives, a better place. The Avengers don't really think so. The problem with Peter Parker, played by Tom Holland, or Spider-Man, he's only 15. He's very young, he's a little naive, and he really doesn't have enough understanding of the world or life in general to be able to have that much power. So the Avengers don't think he's ready for that, and on top of that, he just discovers that there is a criminal organization that's producing very powerful weapons, and he strives to try to stop them. I have to say, though, one of my favorite aspects of the film has to do with the story. There are two main conflicts. One of the biggest conflicts is, of course, trying to get rid of the criminal organization producing weapons, and also trying to become an Avenger. But there's also a more hidden conflict, and that's Peter Parker trying to decide what to do with his life. Do remember, he's a 15-year-old, not an 80-year-old, or not an alien, or not some sort of robot. He is actually just 15. And he is a high school normal kid. He lives normal life, he has normal friends, he's a very standard teenager. And to see him kind of battle between being a superhero Avenger and being normal Peter Parker was really, really fascinating, and I thought it was a unique element that was great to be added, and one of the best things that helped make this element so unique was Tom Holland's performance of Spider-Man. Tom Holland is not 15. He's 21, but he portrays a 15-year-old beautifully. He is so relatable, he is so natural, and it just feels so likable that I was actually left wanting to know more about Peter Parker as a character, to see more adventures with him just because of how unique he is in this Marvel universe. Now, I have to say one of my favorite parts has to do with what I was talking about before with the connection to Captain America, the Civil War. In these kind of sequence of scenes towards the beginning, it's not actually cinematic shots, it's a home video done by Peter Parker with his phone. And I really like this. It was kind of different perspective. You have all these cinematic action scenes, and then you just kind of switch to this, which is really nice. And on top of that, it's kind of a treat for people who saw Captain America Civil War, because they have the sequence of scenes where Spider-Man is fighting other superheroes, but it's from a completely different perspective. It's from Spider-Man's perspective, a 15-year-old's perspective, which was hilarious. And I really thought that was kind of cool to see, and really gave another dimension to the film that I previously saw. Now, there is one thing I thought that could have been improved on with this film, and that is the comedy. The physical jokes themselves were fantastic, as they always are for Marvel films, but the timing of the jokes were not so much. There is a lot of dramatic, intense scenes, just like a lot of other Marvel films, but differently, they put a lot of the jokes in these dramatic and intense scenes, and that did not flow very well, did not feel right, and most importantly, it ruined the mood of those scenes. After a whole bunch of scenes of this happening, the film started feeling more like a joke or a parody, and the seriousness of it was kind of drifting away. The main conflicts didn't feel as heavy as they should. I think that if they just moved the jokes to more appropriate places, they still would have fit, they still would have been hilarious, and not cause any problems. Even though Peter Parker is just a kid, the film is definitely not meant for younger kids. There's a lot of mature action scenes and a lot of mature comedy. So I'd give it an age rating of 14 to 18. I also give it 4 out of 5 stars because overall it's a phenomenal Marvel film, and it's probably one of the best they made so far. There is a major issue with the comedy, though, that ruins many of the scenes, and I feel like that would have been an easy fix to really make the film a perfect experience. If you'd like to check out this Marvel film, Spider-Man Homecoming, it's coming out in theaters near you July 7th. I'm Gerry reporting for Kids First. Bye!